Hello guys! I've decided to go on a holiday to Aruba with my friends. I'm so excited because Bogota is so cold. I enjoy traveling with my friends so much. I promise to take millions of pictures for my Instagram account. We have just started booking hotels and accommodation and activities to do in Aruba. I would love to go bungee jumping. I would love to go rafting. We'll not stop having fun, but sometimes we'll stop to have dinner and to have some drinks. It'll be amazing. I remember having so much fun the last time we went on a holiday together, but don't worry, I'll remember to bring you some postcards. Bye bye guys, and see you after my holiday. Hi guys, and welcome to a new unit of our English course. This unit is related to verb pattern. The objective of this unit is you are going to learn 4 different types of verb patterns. What is a verb pattern? Well, a verb pattern is a structure, a grammar structure that tells us when a verb is followed by another verb. We have already learned in our English course the structure of subject, verb, and object. And in this case, we're going to see what happens when the verb is followed by another verb. That is a verb pattern, a combination of verbs. In English, we have 4 types of verb patterns. The first one is when the verb is followed by a gerund. The second one is when the verb is followed by an infinitive. The third pattern is a group of verbs that can be followed either by a gerund or by infinitive. But in this case, in the third pattern, the meaning of the sentence doesn't change. You can have either a verb with a gerund or an infinitive without changing the meaning of the sentence. And in the last pattern, which is the trickiest one, which is the most difficult one, you can have a verb followed by a gerund, or you can have the verb followed by an infinitive, but in this case, in the verbs that are in this pattern, the meaning of the sentence is different. The meaning of the sentence changes when you have a gerund or when you have an infinitive. We're going to see some examples. So let's start with the first. Verb plus gerund. What is a gerund? A gerund is the ing form of a verb. The gerunds are used as nouns, and in this case, gerunds are used as the object of the verbs. I enjoy cooking for my family. The verb pattern is enjoyed followed by cooking. Susan finished writing her book a week ago. In this case, we follow finished with the gerund, finished writing. It stopped raining a few minutes ago. After stopped, we use raining. David quit smoking. Quit is followed by smoking. David stopped smoking. He doesn't smoke anymore. He quit smoking. I don't mind helping you with your homework. Mind is followed by a gerund, helping. The teacher postponed doing the exam for next week. The teacher asked the students to get ready for a week later, so he postponed the exam. My mom kept telling me to wake up. My best friends discussed throwing a party for me, a surprise party for me. And my brother went camping with his friends last weekend. Remember that when we talk about extreme sports or sports, we use verb go plus the gerund. Enjoy is followed by a gerund. Enjoy. Cooking. Finished. Writing. Stopped. Raining. Quit. Smoking. Mind. Helping. Postponed. Doing. Kept. Telling. Discussed. Throwing. Went camping. These are a group of verbs that are only followed by a gerund or a verb with ing. Let's see the second verb pattern. The second verb pattern is verb plus infinitive. The infinitive is to plus the base form of the verb. So let's see some examples. I have to keep studying to get a good grade. After have, we use the infinitive. Sam offered to fix my car. Offer to fix my car. I've decided to accept Jane's help. After decide, we use the infinitive. I want to see my friends. After want, we use the infinitive. I would like to understand the theory of relativity. After would like, we use to. We use the infinitive. James would not love to know that. After would not love, we use the infinitive with to. I'm planning to visit my family on Christmas. After plan, we use the infinitive. And Julius and I agreed not to read that book. So remember, after have, we use the infinitive. After offer, we use the infinitive with to. After decide, we use the infinitive with to. After want, we use the infinitive with to. Would like and would love are followed by the infinitive. Plan is followed by the infinitive. And agree and disagree are followed by the infinitive. And remember that we make negative sentences this way. Agreed, the verb, then we use not, and then we use the infinitive. Let's see the third verb pattern. In this case, we have a group of verbs that can be followed either by adjurand or an infinitive, but in this case, the meaning of the sentence doesn't change if you use adjurand or if you use the infinitive. I like learning English, or I like to learn English. It will continue raining to rain until the beginning of December in Bogota. Or John started talking, or John started to talk to Anne after the conference. After like, you can use either a gerund or the infinitive. The meaning doesn't change. After continue, you can use the gerund or the infinitive, and the meaning doesn't change. And after start, you can use the gerund or you can use the infinitive, and the meaning of the sentence is the same. Now let's see the next verb pattern. This is the last verb pattern. In this case, the verb can be followed by a gerund or can be followed or by an infinitive, but the meaning of the sentence changes. A month ago, Tony stopped drinking coffee. And yesterday, Tony stopped to drink coffee. The meaning of these two sentences is different. A month ago, Tony stopped drinking coffee means that he decided not to drink more coffee. He quit coffee. But in the second sentence, yesterday Tony stopped to drink coffee means that he was doing something, then he stopped and drank coffee. Do you see the difference? In this case, Tony stopped drinking coffee means that he is never drinking coffee anymore. But in the second sentence, when we use the infinitive, it meant that Tony was doing something, he stopped, and then he started drinking coffee. And, for example, these other two sentences, I remember closing the door, and Alex remembered to close the door. In this case, when I say that I remember closing the door, is because I have a mental image of me doing the action of closing the door. I have a memory. If I use remember plus the gerund, in my head, what I have is the image. What I have is the memory of me doing the action of closing the door. But when I say that Alex remembered to close the door, it's because she didn't forget to close the door. Do you see the differences in meaning? Tony stopped when the verb stop is followed by a gerund. It means that you are quitting something. But when you follow the verb stop with an infinitive, is because you're stopping one action stops, and it's followed by the other. When we use remember plus the gerund, that means that we have an image in our heads of something we did in our past. I remember having fun with my friends is because I have an image, a mental image of me having fun with my friends. But if I say that, in this case, if we follow remember by an infinitive, what we're saying is that we didn't forget to do something. Alex didn't forget to close the door. I hope you don't think this is too difficult. I know it looks a little bit difficult, but it only takes practice. You will get used to these 4 verb patterns. The first one, when the verb is followed by a gerund. The second one, when the verb is followed by an infinitive. The third one, when the verb can be followed by either an infinitive or a gerund, but the meaning doesn't change. And this group of 2 verbs in which the verb can be followed by either an infinitive or a gerund, but the meaning of the sentence is different. Thank you very much. Let me know your comments or questions. Bye bye.